Welcome. Happy New Year, everyone. It's episode 22 of Let's Talk Weekly. How you all doing? Well, we're coming in the month of February because, we're slightly delaying a little bit because, we're lazy people. No, we're not. But anyway, that's sooner or later. But we're going to bless you with our greatness of Valentine's Day, Black History Month, and a little of games and such. So stay tuned for more. Love you guys.
Welcome to the Let's Talk Weekly podcast. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy Heart You Day. I'm retarded, because I don't care.
But for some people, Happy Singles Awareness Day.
Or Happy Desperation Day.
Yeah. Or Play Single Player Games Day. Or Double XP Day, or whatever, Okay.
Or that. Happy Saturday.
Woo-hoo.
Saturday. But it ain't Saturday yet. But Valentine's Day is coming up, and I don't care this year. Normally, I would just be in desperation mode and be wallowing in my pain, my pity about how I'm alone. But honestly, don't care this year. It would be nice, but I don't care. But I applaud myself for that. So, what do you think about Valentine's Day?
As I sit here with my imaginary pipe in my not wearing robes, sitting by the fire, Valentine's Day kind of feels a little commercial. Yes, I know how it started and where it comes from and everything. I know. But it feels like, every year it's like, you'll be a little forced to go out here and spoil your significant other or a special person, whatever you want to call it. But you should do it every day of the year, not just on the 14th of February. But in some cases, it is that reminder of hey, I don't have somebody special. And you know what? That's okay too. That's all I got.
Well, if you think it this way, Valentine's Day doesn't have to be a significant other.
No.
Valentine's Day can be celebrating the loved ones that you have in your life, your friends, your family, and your significant other. So that day, if you have a best friend, give your best friend a gift. And if you have your mom, if your mom's a single mother or your father is a single father, show him that love and appreciation because he doesn't have a significant other. Or just basically in general, show appreciation to your parents.
Yeah, because it's a day about love. No matter who it is, it doesn't have, like you said, it doesn't have to be the person you're in love with. I mean, love your family, love your friends, love your pets, love everybody.
Yeah. But it's just it's Valentine's Day is coming up, and on Friday the 13th is Desperation Day, and that's when I just pulled up this old meme. Well, it's not really a meme. It's from How I Met Your Mother, where Barney was that's when tens, their self-esteem for tens go to a 4, for ugly girls, and they just get really desperate to the point where they turn into 2s. And that's when the ultimate cuffing season go into overtime, where everybody try to find somebody that day to Instagram flex about how they boo thing is getting them gifts. Or what I like to say in high school, girls used to bring teddy bears and candies and balloons to make it seem like their boo brought them something. It's a day for girls to floge. And it's sad. I don't know why. We all know. We know.
Yeah. But hey, since we're talking about everything Valentine's Day, what was one of your first crushes?
Go back in the days of elementary school. I ain't gonna say no names, so I'm gonna change his name to Donovan. All right. It was in fifth grade. Was it fifth grade? Scratch that. Yes, it was. Like, he was probably the real crush that I had. I remember the guy liked me when I was younger, but that's a different story. But yeah, he was a guy I really had a crush on. He was in my class, and he was like, I guess, the popular guy in the class. And he was one of the fastest runners, and he was the smartest in the class. He was really cute too. It's just I was really weird as a girl, and well, a little girl, and but boys, I was really mean. I used to really make fun of boys, and because I didn't have no girly home training, because I grew up with brothers. If you see right now, yeah, I had no girly home training, so I used to beat up on boys that I liked and made fun of them and called them names. And where is he now? He's in college. He's pretty. I guess he's doing pretty well for himself. Not gonna really feel much details about him. But I want people to track me down about Donovan is the past. But yeah. What about you? What was your first lover? Well, not love, your crush. That's a different story.
And yeah, my first crush. Wow. I can go celebrity crush. No, I'm gonna go real crush. Uh, I want to say this was in sixth grade, and I'm with the story. I'm gonna change her name to, let's say, Mary. Yeah. Like, yeah, Mary. Like she was one of the popular kids and everything. I believe was in sports and whatnot. And we had a few classes together, but it was just like, okay, I don't know. I kind of like this person. They're kind of cool, but I don't really know them. Didn't really speak to them much, but it was always like, yay, that person's around me. Yay. Okay. But hey.
Oh, it was like love from afar. So you just sat there and just like, oh, Mary, I wish you would talk to me right now, but I'll just daydream it from afar
Yeah.
and
I
imagine
mean,
different scenarios.
I know nothing. I'm like, hey. Like, all I know is like, oh, yeah, that person is attractive. Yay, okay. And then when you get to a point where you're like, why do I like this person? And then you just kind of like drop it, and you're kind of confused, but you don't understand anything.
Yeah. I guess yours is just like attraction. Like,
Yeah, it's attraction.
it was just attraction. Just like, oh, it was lust. You just lust after their looks and really knew nothing about them.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's not like I really, well, the guy I knew, he was in my class and we did sit next to each other and stuff. And we were pretty cool, but I don't think he really knew. I don't really know. Oh, I think I told him years later, but I don't really recall. It's whatever. He doesn't even live down where I live, anyways, so it don't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So I don't know. I am not a person who really cares for love. This subject is so ugh to me. It makes me want to throw up. No, it doesn't. Yes, it is. That's so oxymoron thinking about that because as much as I like watching K dramas and reading shoujo mangas and anime, and I don't really like talking about love.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm just a fantasizer. But overall, most importantly, we should just love ourselves.
Yeah, it should. Now I'm gonna try to make you laugh. Nobody's gonna see this but you. If
What
you,
is that? Oh my gosh.
but
You
look,
really got that?
Maleficent,
Okay,
Maleficent horns that were given is it's cardboard. Yeah, nobody's
you're
gonna.
gonna play that.
Anyway,
I hope you're gonna.
I gotta make you laugh every once in a while. You know that. You know.
True. True.
Yeah.
But anyways, loving yourself, that is really key to everything before like crushes and stuff, because crushes, you can like them forever and pray for them to acknowledge you, but if you don't really appreciate yourself, nobody's gonna look at you, even your crush.
Yeah. True. I mean, I think I've gotten to a point now where I'm like, that person's cool. All right. Yeah, they're all right. Whatever. And I'm like, hey, I don't have to tell them.
Yeah,
I mean,
because like I started learning this year, like bettering yourself and loving yourself is more important than trying to get someone to love you or
right.
acknowledge you in a sense or whatever. Because even if you do have that person at your hand, at the end of the day, you're never gonna be complete or full inside because you don't have that love for yourself.
Right. Because when it comes to, I don't want to say relationships. I was just say, when you have important people in your life. Like sometimes it's when you're around people who are either dating, married, engaged, whatever. It can kind of make you feel like, oh, I'm missing out. But as long as you love yourself, if you're religious or spiritual, whoever you pray to, it's like somebody loves you. I mean, somebody does. I mean, you may not hear it all the time, but somebody does care, and and if you have your family, that's what's important, and you gotta love yourself, like you said.
That's yourself. Just build yourself and fix yourself. Eventually, the time will come when other people start realizing you, because the love for yourself outshines, and that person who sees you is like, wow, that person carries themselves with so much confidence. I need to know more about them, and like that attraction will be there more than just you just looking down at the ground and not feeling sure of yourself and not thinking you're appreciated by the world when you are. But you have to understand that if you understand yourself.
Right. Yeah. But hey. But but what is what is something you could add to say about love of self? For people who struggle with it or are struggling with trying to love themselves. What kind of
Well,
advice would you give them?
well, within my mental journey, my journey of loving myself, which has been like what 2, 3 years now that I've been doing this journey, and it's been a struggle. And it's like little aspects in your life that you have to try and build, which is yourself spiritually, mentally, physically. Yeah, that's all of them. Spiritually, mentally, and physically, and emotionally. That's the other one. Build yourself physically is most important. If you feel confident about your body, from how you dress yourself to how you look when you work out and stuff, like building. If you're fat and you don't like you being fat, work out and fix that. If you don't like the clothes you wear, read up about different ways of how to different fashion magazines or ideas. Try to learn how to dress yourself. Um, Figure out how to groom yourself to make yourself look good. Spiritually, get in touch with your spiritual sense. Finding something from going to church or just meditation or something to make you become one with yourself. Mentally, meaning intelligence. If you want to grow, become smarter, read things you don't know about, educate yourself on things that you don't really understand, broaden your horizons with different things, and of course, emotionally, with I say emotionally, it's like trying to like I don't know, I don't know, but it's just with your emotional sense is your happiness with yourself and controlling your your emotions when it comes to different things by trying to balance out your emotions with logic and your intelligence, and mostly just happiness for yourself with your emotions. Try to be optimistic about life. And I say emotional and mental kind of go hand in hand, but I'd separate it because people need to also develop their emotional sense too. So if you focus on that, and that will become all in one, where you could come to loving yourself and appreciating yourself in your life, because every life is valuable. So that's a lesson from Mintykid. Take that with stride, because I'm going through the same struggle for real. But in time, if you have that as a main focus for 2015, stay with it to the end of this year, or to the new year of 2016. Don't give up. Oh, that was so great.
I couldn't have said that any better.
I know.
Um,
I'm just being so overly emotional for no reason.
Now, I know we've kind of joked about this on our previous episode, and just other episodes in the past. Like, there's no denying that we both are geeks or nerds or dorks, whatever you want to go with. But,
oh yeah,
excuse me. But what about nerdy love? What you got for us?
I think it's the most adorable things ever. One on my list that I really, really, really love every time I see pictures and I go to cons is cosplay couples. They are the most adorable things ever, and I feel like any couple should always, well, nerd couples or whatever, or cosplayers should always do. Like I did mention, like Shara and Sakura, I'm waiting for the day I go to a con to see that. I will faint and die of happiness of the cuteness of that couple and cry out, ship them every time I see it. Like, I feel like every nerd couple should do that. Or, like, I don't know, nerdy, like, if you're a girlfriend, I remember seeing like, different marriage proposals, like, what's that game with the circles and Portal? That's what it is.
Oh, yeah, Portal, yeah.
Yeah, I saw a Portal proposal where he made a level for his girlfriend. The girlfriend played the level, and she wasn't like going through the whole game, whatever. And eventually, at the end, it's like, "Will you marry me?" And I was like, "Oh, that's the most adorable thing ever." Like, have you seen anything like that, or any type of
No.
nerd type stuff that touch your heart when you seen it?
I haven't seen a proposal, but I think but the only thing that kind of can come close to that is this wedding video where it's like this wedding video of the ceremony, and the groom is challenged to fight a knight. And he fights Batman and Iron Man and all these other random things that happen, and then the wedding party gets involved. The groomsmen, bridesmaids, and then even the bride fights. I forgot who the bride fights, but it's like the preacher's like, anybody else? And it's very funny, but I haven't seen any proposals. But I mean I've seen some real creative ones, but they're like not nerdy ones. So.
Yeah, I seen well, I think probably everybody's seen this a Super Mario one where he designed the game because she loves Super Mario and she played the whole game. And at the end of it, it's like, "Will you marry me?"
Mm-hmm.
That was cute. Or better yet, I think I forgot which year I went to a con. I think it was my second time going to a super con down here in Florida. I didn't go to the cosplay contest, but it was in the news feed when I after like the following weekend that this one couple, and I seen them because I took a picture with them. It was Ariel and Eric. It was a cosplay couple, and he proposed to his girlfriend at SuperCon, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so cute!" And they were just the cute little cosplay couple of Ariel and Eric.
Mm-hmm.
But I love things like that, or even if it's not cosplay couples, where they wear like something like a matching scarf, for example. I don't know, like Pokemon related, like Pikachu ears and Ash, or something like where they just,
Right.
those two goes together when they wear it together. I think that's really cute, and I feel like I'm waiting for that day where I just have that matching nerd thing or that nerdish gesture where I'd be like, "Oh my god, I love you!" Like, give me Hello Kitty stuff and I'll love you forever.
Okay, I'm writing that down.
Mm,
But I do have one question. Like, um, do you think that being in a relationship where it is a nerdy relationship, is that the most important thing? Like both parties being into similar things. Like they don't have to like the same things, but they're both nerds. Or could it be one's a nerd and one's not?
that's a depending question. Reason being is a nerdy couple is like, okay, it's cool because you guys have the same interests, but then it depends because I'm the type of person I like nerd stuff, but then at the same time I like other things besides that. That's not my life.
Right.
As the significant other, I don't want that to be my life. I want have other things outside of anime and comic books. So that would be kind of a too much nerd is too much for me.
Yeah.
But then if the person who's not a nerd, I would like him to be open minded to do things that I want to do. So if I go to like cons and I want to do a cosplay, it would be cool if he joins in with me, or if I go to a comic book sale that or something grand like that, he's like, "Oh, I'm down to try that too." But it's not his life. At least he's open minded to doing the things. Now, if he's closed minded, then it's a turn off because it's like I'm be doing these activities by myself, and I feel like things like that should have things that I love. I want to share with the person I like. So it's not total deal breaker. It depends.
Right. I
How about
understand.
you?
No, same thing. I mean, I know. Excuse me. I know some people may think like based upon my postings and whatnot, like that's all I care about. But like, no, I have a lot of other things I will talk about and love talking about. But it's just like on the social scene, like social media wise, that's just all I kind of share.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I think it wouldn't be a deal breaker or sort if it was somebody that wasn't into it. But like you said, like going to conventions or movie outings with group outings and whatnot. It's like you would want them to come along and not it's nice that they come, but you don't want them to sit there like I don't care about this
Mm-hmm.
because it's like well your negativity or apathy toward it is taking away from this fun moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, it's the what was the phrase you used? You said what was the clause?
Open
Say it again.
open minded.
Yeah, open mind. Yeah, yeah. I want them to be open minded, but I don't think they, you know, have to be into it. It would just be nice.
Yeah, like I want them to be curious about it. Like, oh, babe, why you like this? Why you want to go to this panel? What's so special about this? I want to see what's in your world. Just like if he's into sports, and I'm not really into watching basketball or whatever, but if he wants to go watch basketball, okay, I'll go and watch basketball with him. I want to know more about the game. I want to know about his favorite player. Why is that his favorite player? What about why is this his favorite team? And try to enjoy that moment with him because doing different things are nice, do it by yourself. But when you have that significant other with you, it's like a new opening, a new adventure for both of you, and memories to build on for the future when you're in your rocking chair on your porch talking about the past. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because sometimes like I like to discuss conspiracy theories or issues that are um, issues in the world and how can you make things better, what have you. But you have to find that person that can help you have that balance or share in the balance with you.
mm-hmm,
But
exactly. All
but
relationships about balance.
yes, but in light of all of that, and I feel like we hit like a heavy area. Like I know there's something special you want to do for Valentine's Day.
everybody knows that I occasionally write poems and I've been slacking. But last Valentine's Day I wrote this. And funny story, that last Valentine's Day I went to a poetry reading and one of my friends made me read a poem. And I felt like that night I should have read this one, but if in a sense I kind of felt it was a little bit depressing. But it's still a Valentine's Day poem because I wrote it for Valentine's Day. It was the first thought that came in my head. But it's a free verse poem that I wrote called My Roses. Okay, let me get myself settled. Okay. A dozen roses, just for me, filled with your love. 12 times you say you love me. While it lasted, it was just a dream. Those crimson red roses, defining your passion, holding the stem, touching the thorns, not a chance to bleed the joy. The joy of roses. Imagine to lay eyes on, an image to lay eyes on, to watch wilt away. Petals fade away, fond memories, while passion lives on. Sweet smells of nature, dancing as I inhale and exhale. Petals graze my nose, stimulating me with excitement and lust. With the blink of an eye, rush is gone. Idly I stand, cold as I feel, empty-handed I am, view the world again, behind the glass, glare at the dozen. Those 12 roses, resting in the vase, dreaming to touch my hands, moments, memories, love, will never bless my heart. Those passionate red roses are really home for another memory, another fantasy pleaser. I turn away and sigh. I guess it'll be another year. Dream of the fantasy roses. They could be mine. Maybe it'll be next year, my dozen roses. So yeah, happy Valentine's Day. That's my Valentine's Day poem to you. It's not all lovey-dovey. It's just real life I'm playing.
Yeah. but what was... And I know poetry is open for interpretation, but what did you get from writing that poem?
Well, what went through my head is because, like, what I told you about Valentine's in the beginning, Valentine's Day, I always wanted to be like, had that moment, get roses and teddy bears and all that kind of stuff. Just feel special that day because I never had that opportunity to feel special from a guy I like or whatever. So during that whole mess of everything, I was just thinking to myself like, and it's kind of funny because I really pictured that moment standing in front of the glass and just looking in at a florist.
Yeah.
Just looking at the roses, and that's how come it came to be of a visual poem about wanting my roses. And it sounds depressing at first, but I'm still optimistic of the fact that it will happen to me one day. And I know some people feel like that. So basically, this poem goes out to all the single women, or men, or whatever, who feel like, when is that day going to come? And it's going to come. You just have to move on and keep living and be optimistic. It'll happen to you too.
Did you have another you want to share, or?
I was thinking about sharing another one, but I was like, nah.
Okay.
Nah.
Well,
it's kind of that was a poem of a love that I had, but I don't want to share that one.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, I want to say to everyone listening, hopefully you're listening today, and if not, hope that you enjoyed your Valentine's Day.
Yeah. The best remedy if you're alone on Valentine's Day, is get Netflix, get some liquor, and some food, preferably sushi, because I did that one time when I had nothing to do. So you get your favorite liquor, which is mine, rum and coke. You get sushi, two different sets of sushi, find a show to watch, which is me, Gossip Girl, right now, and binge watch it until you fall asleep. And that's a perfect Valentine's Day.
All
That's a
right.
perfect any day.
Yeah, that's a good day.
Very good day.
Now, I know there's really no real transition into this, but
Oh, it's Black History Month,
yeah,
man.
I know. I was gonna try to be all grand and verbose about it, but yes, it's Black History Month.
Yes, power to us Black people.
Mm-hmm.
United, we to stand forever.
You got that right.
Heck yeah. And apparently we're doing that right now with cosplayers.
Woo-hoo.
Oh gosh, this 28 days of cosplay, Black cosplay. I am loving this so much now. Well, when I was on Twitter. But overall, I'm loving this hashtag. It's just making me feel more empowered about being a Black cosplayer, and I'm loving the cosplayers who started this movement.
Now, I'm gonna ask a question based off of something that one of my friends, who also another cosplayer, said. We talked about this a few days ago. That while the whole movement is strong and is wonderful to see, but do you want to be considered as a cosplayer or Black cosplayer?
That's a really interesting question. I'll say a Black cosplayer.
Why you say that?
Because, okay, I guess you say cosplayer as in sense of being equal. Why can't I be empowered of being a Black cosplayer and being proud and being looked as greater than just being a cosplayer? I'm a Black cosplayer doing greatness in a craft that people think that we can't even do because the characters are not our skin.
Right.
I feel like it should be just in the whole empowerment movement where we all really come together. Just like even as right now with the whole Black history of all of us coming to move. It has to be in small pieces. We could just start with cosplaying community, us coming together. When we see each other at cons, we all acknowledge each other as one
Mm,
family.
right.
And eventually they want to be us, cosplayers or people who are not of color will want to be us. So just like let us live in our own community of greatness and let's not try to become them. Let's make our own brand.
Excellent point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my friend that said this is also a Black cosplayer, but we were just you know throwing it out there like to anybody like, what do you want to be known as? But but you made a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
And like my take on it is like, I'm proud to see, you know all these people showing up. I mean, I know I'm new to the cosplay community. Yeah, I've always been a fan even before I knew what it was called. And I know I've discussed this before, so I'm not going to go into that. But to see how strong this movement has been, and how strong it is continuing to go, like people sharing other people's work, like it's inspiring, empowering. Because honestly, I think if I didn't see this happening right now, I don't think I would have started my own cosplay page.
That's a very good point because since I've been on Twitter and Facebook and I've seen it off of Maki's page because she's like the only Black cosplayer I really follow because I really don't know much cosplayers. Thanks to you, you gave me like her. She was the first one I started following, but her doing the whole movement and seeing it on Twitter, and I'm like, wow, how I forgot that I could do these characters too? And it's just like give me more ideas. It's making me want to be daring to try cosplays that people be like, why are you doing that? You're not white. Like, so I'm doing it and I'm doing it better. And I'm just loving that these people are like the black community are doing it better. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love you guys. You just makes us so much better as a community.
Well, I agree.
We need to keep doing this. We should not just do this for 28 days. It should be 365 days of the year.
Oh yeah, because that's something I question. Like, once March 1st gets here, it's like, what are we gonna do?
We should make our own hashtag, and anytime we go to a con, we use that hashtag for everything, Instagram and Twitter, so it could trend all year round. That's what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Black Cosplayer Unite. Bam, that'll be the hashtag. Hashtag Black Cosplayers Unite. And anytime you go to a con, that's like the shout out call for other people to see it, be like, hey, hey, type stuff.
Hey, you know what? You should tweet that out right now.
Black. Where's my phone?
You should tweet that out on your Twitter account, our Twitter account, everything.
Oh, I'm about to do that right now. Black Cosplayers Unite.
Yes, and hashtag 28 days of black cosplay.
Yes. Oh yeah.
We're gonna start something. Hopefully it will catch on. But in all seriousness, while cosplay is fun, like, let's look at the importance of Black History Month as a whole. And while Black history is everyday history, because let's face it, this country would not be here without people of color. And however you look at it, but there have been a lot of exceptional people in the past, today, even some that are kids right now or hadn't even been born. Like, there's greatness going to happen.
It needs to continue to happen, and we need to have consistency in our community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where change will happen.
Yes, and we need to do things of stopping the violence on each other, hating people for skin color differences. Like, everything needs to be one. Just have your days of unity, solidarity. But like, these things have been preached before. But what do you think are going to be some ways, or what are some ways that we can help our communities come together?
Which communities? Black communities or all communities?
Well, Black communities and all communities.
Well, first, in order for us to even consider anything like that, I feel like we shouldn't, is to really come together as a community. Because I realized this with anything. Well, past Trayvon and Martin year when that happened. And the Black community, we rally when bad things happen. We rally because the media tell us to rally. So if the media tell us to rally off the cliff, we will rally off the cliff. Because like the presidential election, if they did not rally about Black president, I swear nobody was going to vote. I probably wasn't going to vote, even though I couldn't vote at that time when Obama first ran. So we shouldn't just rally because bad things are things that the media tell us to rally about. We should rally all the time. We should make a change in our community all the time. First, by bettering ourselves, by educating ourselves, educating who we are, what we do, what we're capable of doing, and better ourselves. Instead of limiting ourselves and thinking we only could speak Ebonics and we can't even have the luxury of nice things because we live in the ghetto, we limit ourselves. So in order to better our community is to educate ourselves. And we are failing to educate ourselves and continue making the same mistakes that won't better our community and ourselves as Black Black people. So, ooh, I got retweets already.
I know. One was from me. But, yeah.
Yeah, I saw, but I got a different retweet. But yeah, you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. Definitely.
And then, like, the reason why I say we shouldn't unite with people, because if you think about it, other communities, they already united with themselves. And they already bettered themselves. Why we're paying so much attention to unite with them and become one of them? We should become ourselves and educate ourselves and become a community first, before we even cherish the thought of equating ourselves with other people. And honestly, other people don't really acquaint ourselves with us because they don't help us to better ourselves. So why should we go and acquaint ourselves with them?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my spiel on the Black movement. Oh, I'm getting more retweets, but that's you.
Yeah. One of course is our account. Of course. Yeah. But, I'm on the side of like, and stop me if I go too far. But, yes, our community needs to come together as a whole first, like on so many different levels. But I think being that we all do share this same planet, like it's not like, well, I live on Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3, whatever, but we all live here in the here and now, and it would really behoove us all to really start saying, we all share this place, and you know we have our neighbors, no matter where they come from, the circumstances that brought people here, whether it was, slavery or things in the past, everything, the correlation to get here now. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody's here. We are all here. It's about time we realize that and stop the whole "I'm better than you." Da, da, da. I mean, competition, friendly competition. That's nice. That's fun, but still gonna say, "Oh, you can't come here because you look like this or you are a certain way." Like, come on, people. Like, it's. I mean, yes, it's so easy to say this is 2015. That's in the past. No, all this stuff is happening here and now. Yes, stuff gets in the past as the days and years and months go on, but what are we doing instead of just saying it's 2015? Let's move on. But if we can get to a point where we're like, you know what, you are my neighbor. I'll shake your hand. We're gonna get along. We're gonna rebuild this place and make it better for everybody. That could solve some problems.
Sorry, just doing more
No.
promoting. But I understand what you're saying. But if you think it this way, other people are not thinking we share it. And if you think about it, everybody's out for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's out for their group of people, from Jews to Spanish to white to Muslims. They're out for themselves, or Chinese or whatever. They're out for themselves. They're not thinking about, oh, we need to be, oh, our next door neighbor is black. Let's be nice and, do this for him. No, they're just going to think about themselves and run over it. As simple as with the black community. When we try to do better for ourselves, what happened? They destroy us. Like the Black Wall Street. Is it Black Wall Street? Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
We actually tried to establish our own community and build better ourselves. Basically, what different groups are doing right now, they do something to better themselves, but to limit us, to bring us back to feeling ignorant and dirt poor about ourselves, is cut off what we think is right, which is burn down Black Wall Street. And constantly, when we keep having those moments where we're supposed to be sharing and they keep cutting off those moments where we can better ourselves, we just give up on ourselves and just feel like we have nothing better to reach because they brainwash into our heads that we're nothing. So why we should share with people who think we're basically nothing?
Mm-hmm.
They spent years believing we were nothing, treat us like nothing, and called us property. But we should be able to share with them in a community, even if we all came here together, even though we didn't come here willingly.
True.
No. So we should just always think about ourselves until we come the mentality of stop trying to be nice, and you can just be tolerant and respectful to them, but don't give your all to other people. Think of bettering the people around you first before you even consider the fact of trying to fix different communities or try to be part of community. Some black people don't even acknowledge themselves as black. They call themselves either Indian or Spanish or Puerto Rican or anything not in the sense. So that's how come I'm really saying I'm pro-black about it. Oh, let me finish this tweet. Oh, I'm getting a lot of retweets on this thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just sent one out from my account.
I was about to do one too.
That's what I was trying to do. If you want to do one better, feel free to redo it.
I'm about to do it.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, I guess my take is from, I guess, a slight idealist position. I mean, I know I'm not exactly right, but I'm thinking I'm not going to ignore what you said because like what you said is true. I mean, we were considered property in some cases. Some people still think we are, but I just think to get move forward. So there has to we have to end some things of I'm not gonna go across the street or go mainstream or whatever. I'm like, in some cases that does hurt. Then then do good. So I can understand both sides of it. Honestly, I really can. This I know we're not going to solve the world's problems sitting here talking, but it does create a nice dialogue, which I know a lot of other people are having. Or we just add to the dialogue, rather. But but here's a question for you. But in terms of the youth who don't really know a lot of things, I mean, I don't know everything either. But for the youth, get them to do better, or try to do things a little bit better, because the thing of saying racism is only taught, it's not, you're not born with it, and that's true. So
yeah,
how do you go and get people to say, I'm not gonna hate on this person? I mean, I know everybody's had different upbringings. I mean, I went through the school systems of being mixed schools until I got to a certain point, and then it was like all like basically one sided, and for the most part. But I guess like for me, it was like, okay, I'm used to the other side, and then it was like, oh, I'm with my people now. This is different. I mean, it was like an eye opener for me, but I'm happy with the experience. But yeah, back to my question. Like, how do you get the youth to do better?
How get the youth to do better?
Or to try to make things better?
They have to know more about who they are. Read about there's not much black history per se, black history, not American black history. But basically know more about themselves and basically start to understand, look at themselves in the mirror and start to love love themselves. That's the only way to know about more to better yourselves is to love yourself. Because some black people, like for example, I'm going all over the place, but for example, as a black woman, I remember going to school and thinking like having straight long hair is the hair to be, and that's what I should look like with, have blue eyes. That's pure beauty. And it kind of made black women feel we weren't beautiful enough, no matter what we did, because our hair was nappy and stuff. But we fail to understand like our hair is the most beautiful hair ever. It's always soft, it's textured, especially how you lock it, because I have sister locks. Like, people envy us. And we fail to realize that too. They envy us. And they want to be like us. But we don't appreciate ourselves. We need to look at ourselves in the mirror every day and just be like, I love my skin. I love who I am. And there's nothing better out there than who I am, which is black. And then men trying to be something they're not, trying to emulate what the media portrays as to be ghetto thugs, shooting, selling drugs, and don't think we can't read and study and become doctors or lawyers or nurses or pilots or entrepreneurs. They don't put that in us. They just put that we can be rappers and basketball players and football players, and we have nothing better to do except those things. Not saying it's bad, but we are far greater than what they limit to what we can do.
Now, what do you say to like some of our people who are like, for people who want to do better and go to those other fields, and they're like, you can't do that because we don't do that. Black people don't do that. Like I've gotten a lot of that from, not a lot, but I remember in school or more so college, some people were like, well, black people don't do that, so they don't like those things, or I don't mess with that because it ain't black, and I'm like, come on, like you can do it.
That goes back to our Valentine's Day talks, loving yourself. Because
Yeah,
if you
true.
love yourself, you're confident enough to ignore those naysayers. If you want to be a neuro, is it neuro? What is it neuro? I don't know. Why don't I say something so complicated? A mechanical engineer, and
Yeah,
people say you can't do it. Like, don't let people shatter your dreams. If you want to do something great, just do it. If you want to be president, freaking do it.
mm-hmm.
Because I bet you Obama himself, people were like, you can't do it. You're black. You running for president? Ha ha ha. And just heckled him. But he stood strong and confident and felt sure himself. You have to love yourself and appreciate yourself. And with that, that's where the confidence come in, because you appreciate and understand how great you are and you can accomplish anything.
Definitely.
And also having the company you keep supporting you and believing in you. Because if their friends themselves saying you can't do that or that's not something black people could do, what kind of friends you have? They are limiting them. They're limiting themselves. So why hang around people who limit themselves? By people who pursue greatness.
True.
So that's the only way you can do it.
Yeah.
Damn, we got heated real quick. We just
I,
from 28 days of cosplays to 28 days of real black history.
hashtag 28 days later. but I really think, and oh shoot, my recorder is like, no. Okay. Um, I really think that, you know, these conversations need to be had.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of whether people like it or not, or, I have no idea what this flashing means. But, regardless of what people think or not, or, hold on. Okay. Oh, I get it.
Oh,
Okay.
please.
Okay. Yeah, so whatever people think or not, I mean, these things need to be said, shared, what have you, because like you said, we have to help ourselves. Not everyone's going to help you. Yes, there are allies. There are. We can't ignore that there are not allies. But you have to have, like we said earlier for Valentine's Day, the love of self. You have to love yourself first. Put yourself in a good environment. Be around, some like upstanding individuals. Have the group of people that you can talk to. I mean, this is more advice for anybody, but to do
Mm-hmm.
better, like you have to encourage, like for children, encourage your children. If your child says, "I want to," I know, like I want to be a writer. Okay, cool. Well, help them be a writer. Let them help them learn how to write. You know, and I think it's so easy to say, well, I don't know how to do it, so you can't do it, or well, nobody in our family ever did it, so what do you think you're gonna do better? I mean, there's a lot of that too.
Well, to fix that problem, because okay, it's been many years of the recurring situation where kids have kids and kids have kids, and they're the same situation with the same mentality. So in order to break that family chain, that constant building the wheel and never building the car situation, is having one person with the mindset of doing better. Like many great leaders lived in situations where there's like they couldn't amount to anything, but they did greatness out of the little resources that they have. They had to dig out the hole that they were placed in to do better. And then after they do that, they keep continuing that cycle of doing better within their kids and instilling that. And after you keep continuing that circle, that vicious, that build up, where you eventually start building the car, that's when things start moving and we start erasing the ignorance that was created. But it only just takes one to keep building the pyramid.
Right. And really, it does take that leap of faith.
It's going to take years to really rebuild.
Oh, I know. It's like I said earlier. We're not gonna solve the world's problems or anything right now, but we can add to that ongoing discussion.
Mm-hmm. It's just people just got to wake up and realize what's going on.
And there goes that phrase that I find so interesting.
What?
Wake up.
Oh,
Honestly, sometimes I feel like it may be overused, but I get what you're saying. Like it applies here.
I don't know. I never thought it was overused.
Maybe
But
because I see it on my timeline with so many people saying, but they're saying it for so many different things. Like it's not just like about one issue.
oh, oh, okay,
You see what I
yeah.
mean?
I call those Facebook activists.
Yeah, I'm like you don't really need to say wake up here. Like it's not really applied, but or applicable, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, but I think this was a good conversation.
Yeah. Um. But back to Black Conflict, I feel like we're missing some things about the 28 Days of Black
Oh yeah,
Cosplay
we
because
are. We are.
we got really heated into Black movement in general, but the Black cosplay movement. But like now, you said you start doing your whole cosplay thing called cosplay. My
Uh,
bad. Chancellor D's cosplay,
yeah.
and because of this movement, basically it's inspire you. So now you're basically like, how does it feel to be a cosplayer, even though you just started like a Black cosplayer? How do you feel about this whole movement?
You know, I feel like, and I hope this makes sense for me to say it like this. Like, there are so many movements that people can jump on and get behind it and whatnot. And sometimes like I want to say something and do it, but I'm like I don't know how what I have to say will add to it or whatever. And this is like y'all doing a good job by yourself, but you got it. I support you. Whatever, within reason. But with this, it's like people are taking those moments of stepping out on faith and they say, hey, I like this thing or this character, I want to portray it, I'm gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're feeling about is it going on like my third day now with a page. um at the time we're recording this, like it doesn't bother me. Like I don't have a lot of likes. I'm like that's to be expected. Like I don't expect to have like 100+ likes or anything right now. I mean, I hope, but you know, going on and seeing people doing these various characters, whether it's comic books, movies, video games, whatever. I'm like, I never thought to do that, or I didn't know that person existed. I mean, that character existed, and then just to kind of see like I get kind of amazed by the names people have for their cosplay pages. Like that's something I find interesting. I'm like how do you come up with this name or whatever? And I'm like, I may want to ask some people at some point, like, well, what inspired you to name yourself this? And and the names are all like unique and everything. Like they're not, excuse me, they're not like cosplay store. Like that's so easy, but these names are so memorable and like seeing their pictures is like, oh wow, you did this or you did the Super Saiyan or whatever. And I'm like what else you got? Like I want to see more, and it kind of seeing this whole movement like like you talked about Maki earlier. Like I only know of a few, like her, Jasmine Jolly, Charlie Rocket, and I know a few others, but like just to see all these people coming like out, like I know that I've never heard of them. Like I know that they existed, but I wouldn't have known to search for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's empowering, I guess, in the sense of like allowing me to embrace my creative side, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were saying earlier about having that balance to life or whatever. I'm like, I know this is not life for me. It's not like I'm not gonna be like I don't expect to be somebody on the scale of the likes of like Jessica Negri, Yaya Han, or whatever. Like they have these legions of followers and stuff. Like I don't expect to be there, but just to know like, hey, I have a Goku outfit and I did it. It may not have been the best thing in the world, but I'm happy with what I have, and I appreciate the work that went into it, and I'm proud wearing it and whatnot. So
Well, in my sense, you can't have like my point of view to put on to what you said. You can't have like a pessimistic vibe about your cosplay page. Like, be hopeful that people will start appreciating what you're doing and have fun with it. I mean, eventually you'll get followers and you'll probably be popular or whatever. But if you have a thinking that people won't like your page or any pessimism, what's the point doing
right.
it? Like, always have the mentality of, yeah, I will have more followers eventually, and I'm gonna have fun doing this because this is what I'm passionate about. Because it all started out of passion, probably for majority of these cosplayers who are just basically have a mountain load of followers now.
Right, and I guess I should correct it before people say anything on this. Like, I guess I don't I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I guess I'm trying to be a realist in the sense of like, I have hopes and desires for what I can I hope to do. I just, I guess, through some life experiences, I'm like, it won't bum me out if something doesn't go my way. I mean, yeah, maybe it's a little disappointing, but I'm going to enjoy the journey along the way while I keep doing it.
That's good. That's a great way of starting out your page. And I really, really, really hope things go through for you.
Thank you.
I mean, you have your resources of friends to help you build up that your page to where I want to be.
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
one thing I'm really liking about the 28 days that's going on so far, I think we kind of mentioned in the beginning, is like it's really starting to give an empowerment to Black people in general,
Mm-hmm.
Black nerds, not Black people, Black nerds in general, who wanted to cosplay, and now they're seeing all these cosplayers coming to light that are Black, and they're like, oh my gosh, I can do it too. Because I really scrolled down the 28 days, the hash 28 days of cosplay, Black cosplay hashtag, and I've seen some cosplay like people put, they didn't post pictures, just said, oh my god, now I want to cosplay now after seeing all these Black cosplayers and stuff. Like, they starting to feel inspired, and I know a lot of these popular cosplayers are feeling really good that they're helping the vision of future cosplayers to come into the community by just showcasing their work that took years of ridicule and sewing and all that kind of stuff, because when they go to cons, they're not looked upon. If they see a Black Hatsune Miku and a white Hatsune Miku, the Hatsune Miku who's white is going to get more credit than her, even if her makeup is on point, her ponytails are slick and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of Black people are just rallying now, who are nerds, and saying, I want to do it too. And I'm hoping, like, I go to the next big con this year, that I see more Black people are taking part in not just doing Black characters, but trying to do different characters that are not even Black themselves, and then killing it. I'm going to have so much fun seeing them kill it.
Like,
So,
I guess my question for you is, where is your page?
my page.
Yes,
Oh my
Mintykid,
gosh,
where
like,
is your page?
my page. Um, I want to do something. Honestly, I do want to try to do something like that, but it's like I'm so alone in this journey because I don't really have the resources, or I don't have that passion. Like, I like cosplaying, but I don't have that passion to really keep up with a page. But I do want to keep cosplaying and like have a page to post stuff, but I'm not really expecting to have a following. I just wants to showcase whatever I have to
So,
people.
yeah, see, you said the cleaner version of what I was trying to say.
What?
About you're just gonna do it to enjoy it. Like what I like my very long statement about my page. Like you kind of said what I was trying to say.
Oh, okay. Because I have like this idea where I want to, well, I really got into like dressing up and stuff and experimenting with clothes. And I'm like, what if I do like nerdy fashion page where I just dress myself up really swag like in nerd attire from I guess it'd be sort of cosplay because it's kind of probably be exaggerated. Kind of like what I did for SuperCon when I dressed up as like that ninja gangster maid. I don't even not that maid. The ninja, I don't know why I call it ninja punk or whatever, like a gangster, like a schoolgirl gangster, where I had like that plaited dress that I had in my room. It was like such last minute cosplay, and I got one of my old wigs and a lot of accessories that I had from my previous like stuff that I had before. and I borrowed my friend's sword to complete it all, and it just came together and looks so badass. And I want to do more things like that, like incorporate more nerd vibe and with a cosplay twist, and wear that, and I call like nerdy fashion, and do photo shoots like that. And also, I like to cosplay more, but that's a different time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I understand, and we will work together.
I just need to get people to believe me. Oh, you believe me, but it's just like I just need resources because I really don't. I was really thinking today after the whole 28. Well, after the 28 days of cosplay movement started, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, wow, I really don't know any black cosplayers that's in my area.
Well, when we finish, I'll share something with you that I found.
Ooh, black cosplayers in my area.
Yeah, at least one person that I found.
Is it not 3 hours away area?
No, like you could drive.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just can't remember that. I just can't remember that their name at the moment. That's why I can't tell you. But I found it today.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to say to you because we've been friends for feel like forever now. But I thank you for your support and believing in me and things like I I don't think if I had friends like you and like who I talked to like Charlie Rocket or whatever and a few other people like I probably would not have done this page.
I know.
I probably would just been like, well, I got pictures. I'll just post them like on my regular page or Instagram and like, there I go. I mean, I have some ideas of things I want to do, and something very simple. It's not exactly cosplay, but I'm gonna turn something fun into like a suit.
You're gonna turn something fun into a suit?
Well, it's a T-shirt, but I'm learning how to accessorize the, you wear something like some slacks and a nice jacket, and then you put a graphic tee on.
Oh,
But I have an idea for something fun, and I kind of want to do a photo shoot with it.
okay.
I'm not gonna tell the world. They'll have to just see it.
Ooh, people
But
don't know my cosplay idea. I ain't telling y'all. You will know later.
they'll have to see it. But we'll talk about it. But they won't know.
They'll be so surprised. They'll be like, "She did that?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up things, because I feel like people want to enjoy the rest of their days and blah 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 blah. But
Ain't doing that kind of thing, and they chose to listen to this. Thank
yeah,
you,
yeah. So
my love.
we've taken a little bit over an hour of their wonderful day. So, any final thoughts for Valentine's Day for starters?
Um, eat, love, pray. I'm playing. I don't know. That's the first thing that came in my head. Um,
All you need is
don't.
love.
What?
What was
God,
that?
I don't even know you anymore. My final thoughts for Valentine's Day would have to be it's just a day, especially to like younger listeners who are like middle school and high school or elementary school don't count. Middle school, high school, it's just a day. It took me a while to realize it's just a day, and it's actually this year where I realized it's just a day, and I'm what in my 20s, and I realize it's just a day. So don't stress about it. And if you really want to have a great Valentine's Day, just enjoy it with your friends and just go out and act stupid. And there's gonna be a lot of single guys out there anyways. Just be like, well, as a girl, it's for the girls. There's lots of anyway. So have your girls out there, have fun, have a movie night. 50 Shades is gonna come out. I ain't watching it, but that's suggesting for y'all people who like that stuff. Go ahead and watch it with your girls and have a great Valentine's Day. Love yourself. Anything you want to say?
Nah, you said what would need to be said.
All right, well, happy Valentine's Day, and remember, love yourself, mint bunnies. Mwah.
And hashtag Black Cosplayers Unite.
Yes.
Alright. See y'all later and have a great day, everybody. Or after, thanks for listening. And subscribe to our page.
Always.